Sledgehammer Games just revealed a massive overhaul update coming to Modern Warfare 3 very soon. We have some patch notes to go through, a new in-game event with free rewards, and much more. But first up here, we have a preview of some future playlists we're getting in 4 days and 20 hours from now. We have 10v10 Mosh Pit, which is really sick, and Rust 24/7 as well, which we were just talking about in a previous video. Glad to see these returning here. For the experimental playlist, we had a slight update where the outline around players has been intensified a little bit, at least according to my comment section. You guys don't want to see that in the game whatsoever, but that's the point of the experimental playlist, to test it out and see if people want to have it to the entire game, but looks like it's not going to make it to the full game there. But for the event here, this True Legends event is finally live in MW3. If you go to the event tab here, you can see 6 days remaining, Call of Duty Endowment True Legends. It's still weird to see this only on the left-hand side of the screen. I still think they're going to have more events, you know, popping up on the middle and right side here. Seems kind of weird, the setup, but regardless, we have the event here. Let's go through. Pretty much as we said, it's a passive event where you just have to get XP. So the first one here, 10,000 XP, you're going to get an emblematic sticker. At 21,600 XP, double XP token. At 35,000 XP, always forward sticker. At 50,700 XP, double weapon XP. At 68,800 XP, got your back charm. At 89,800 XP, a stacked sticker. At 114,100 XP, an anthem emblem. At 142,400 XP, a flanked calling card. At 175,200 XP, double battle pass XP. And finally, at 213,200 XP, a Brave Stripes camo, a universal camo for all weapons, and we can preview this here as well. Looks pretty solid, not animated, nothing too special, but it's a camo you could use on all weapons, which again is pretty cool. And of course, if you get this bundle here, the COD Endowment bundle, actually I'll go to the store for a better look at it. It's the Warrior Pack here with a Koa King operator with a bunch of cool weapon blueprints. The black and yellow is a cool vibe, of course, the finishing move, the vehicle skins, the cosmetics, some XP as well, all that cool stuff for $10. You will get extra XP progression towards those rewards there, so you'll be able to get those rewards even faster. And of course, if you get the bundle, all of the proceeds go towards the Call of Duty Endowment, which helps veterans find jobs. And if you guys are a veteran or an active duty service member, if you go to the link down below in the description, or just go to callofduty.com/endowment or whatever their main link is, I'll put it down below, you could get this bundle for free, which is pretty cool. So thank you again for your service there. And in-game as well, if you go here to this menu, go to the challenge menu, you have the event which pops up, which is pretty cool, but also weekly challenges. You can now preview the Golden River camo that we're going to get at the end of week 4, which looks pretty fire and is slightly animated as well. So again, getting this like pretty cool animated camo, this blue flame camo with streaks of orange, just by completing all the weekly challenges is so sick. And it seems like every 4 weeks, every month, we're gonna get potentially a new universal camo. That's pretty sick, honestly. So let me know down below your opinions on that. And of course, again, if you missed the week 1 challenges, you can still go back and complete them as well. You just have to do it by the end of week 4. But regardless, really cool change there. Let me know down below your opinions on that. Before we go through some more stuff here, quick shout out to U4GM. If you need help getting MW3 Mastery camos, rare unlocks, and much more, check them out. They have safe and legit services to help you get the camos fast and easily. They have cheap COD points, rare unlock codes, and much more. Use code Matt for an extra 5% off checkout. Links are down below. But for the new MW3 patch notes here live in the game, let's break down what they're doing. A lot of interesting changes for multiplayer and zombies. For UIX here, new features added the ability to preview weapon camos and aftermarket parts earned via weekly challenges. We of course just did that. Weekly challenges will now display the associated base weapon for aftermarket part rewards. Bug fixes here address an issue that allowed players to select modes that are not supported in private matches. Players will no longer be stuck in an activating token state after consuming an XP token. Address an exploit that allowed players to equip aftermarket parts without meeting the minimum requirements. For gameplay changes here, movement, this is pretty massive. Decreased tac sprint refresh delay after sliding by 75%. That's a massive change there. So again, movement should be super fast now. Decreased tac sprint refresh time to match the infantry vest running sneakers. That's good. Decreased sprint delay after sliding by 53%. So again, if you guys want that faster movement, this is exactly what they're going for there. So let me know down below if you guys have noticed any difference there. And at launch, we introduced a delay after sliding to the tac sprint refresh time. A review prompted by player feedback determined that the previous delay was too aggressive. Today's updates aim to improve movement fluidity without making slide and tac sprint repetition the only viable choice for players. For progression changes here, weapons corrected attachment unlock requirements for several MW2 weapons. Challenges, corrected unlock challenge tracking conditions for BBQ the Operator. Just an issue that prevented the progression of the priceless camo challenge for the DM58 Marksman Rifle. For Armory unlocks, wins will now progress Armory unlocks without first completing daily challenges, which is so good here. So pretty much if you could just get wins in MP, that's all you gotta do. You will slowly get those Armory unlocks done. You don't have to do the daily challenges. Now, it's not a big deal because the daily challenges were usually pretty easy to get done anyway, but if you just want to get wins and not care about that, you could do that and unlock all of those extra weapons, you know, equipment, stuff like that, which are locked behind Armory unlock. So a good change there overall. For maps here on Estate, increased brightness in low light areas to improve player visibility. Underpass, adjust a spawn point in the parking lot to prevent players from dying upon respawn. Kill streaks here, remote turret, adjust an exploit that allow players to become invisible, and they're investigating reports of further exploits with a remote turret. It will be re-enabled for use once we've deemed it is safe. For zombie changes here, we have a bunch of gameplay changes. Address an issue that allow players who are eligible for a story mission to be automatically queued into one if a different squad completes a story mission exfil. I've seen a lot of that happening. Address an exfil timing issue that allow players to fall from the exfil helicopter at the edge of the map when departing from the sub pen. The cooldown for the exfil activations has been increased to 2 minutes, which is interesting. So you can't do that exfil strat where you're constantly calling in the exfil chopper and getting waves and waves of zombies to spawn in. Close an exploit that permitted duplication of a player's weapon, and close an exploit that permitted duplication of score streaks. For enemies here, Mega Abomination, adjust an issue that could prevent the Mega Abomination from ignoring players in the high difficulty zones. For stability fixes here, adjust an issue that prevented players from entering the Modern Warfare Zombies menu due to timed out waiting for instance inventory. Reduce the number of zombies that spawn at exfil locations to improve stability, and various stability and map fixes. So overall here, this one is good because it did get pretty laggy when there were a lot of zombies there. But now that XP strategy is kind of nerfed where you're going to have a lot less zombies and you can't call in the exfil chopper as often as you could before. So that's that there. And for progression here, we have general changes. Address an issue where weapon names were replaced with placeholder text when completing a camo unlock challenge in the AAR. For the Battle Pass, address an issue that prevented players from earning Battle Pass XP in Modern Warfare Zombie. Camo challenges for the FR556, address an issue where the digital Wildwood camo completion criteria was incorrect. Completion as camos, Golden Enigma MW3 and Golden Ivory MW2. We've released a fix that allows players to complete the Golden Enigma and Golden Ivory completion as camos with non-blueprint weapons, and their teams continue investigating this completion as camo issue and are committed to releasing a fix that allows blueprint weapons to be completed. We thank everyone for your patience and the messages we received regarding weapon configurations while we continue investigating. So those are all the patch notes today. Pretty solid changes overall. Now for all of the overhaul updates here, Sledgehammer game developers went on Repulse's stream today and revealed a bunch of crazy information and changes about what they're going to be doing to Modern Warfare 3 very soon, what they couldn't do because of some limitations and all of that good stuff. A lot of crazy information to go through here. So first off, again, we got a quick preview of a bunch of the content we're getting for Season 1 of this game, new MP maps, zombies updates, Warzone updates, a holiday event as well. I made a video going through all of that info. That video will be linked down below in the description, but they go through some info on this here. The new meat map is a very small map in a slaughterhouse, says Sledgehammer game devs. Pretty cool there. A close quarters map. For a pretty big change here, Modern Warfare 3 will have a stamina bar added to the HUD at some point, which is so interesting. So the Ghost of Hope says this: if anyone is confused, there is currently a stamina mechanic to tac sprint where if you're in regular sprint, it will recharge tac sprint. It's currently not seen by us players. You kind of just have to guess or count up, but they're adding that so we know. That's super cool. Like that change overall. Some more info here. The stamina in MW3 does not reset while sliding. While it does so immediately after a slide in the beta, they removed that for launch. It pauses as you're sliding and then starts to reset seconds after the slide in today's update. So they talk about that in this clip here. I'm going to play this quick clip. It's 47 seconds long. Really cool stuff.
Your stamina bar no longer regens while sliding like it did in the beta. Correct? Now,
yes.
Does it pause or does it like?
It pauses. Okay. It pauses when. Well, I'm gonna not step on myself. Yes, it should pause is what it should do. It should pause as you're sliding, and then once you get out of slide, if you are past the threshold, you can do it again. If you're not past the threshold you need to do tac sprint, it'll wait a second and then start regenning back to where you can get to tax prime.
So again, as I said, those are changes that should be live in multiplayer right now. Let me know down below your opinions on that if you've played any games. But for some more stuff here, Sledgehammer Games says they're looking at bringing back bunny hopping in some form and MW3 as well. Another pretty massive overhaul change here, you know, upgrading the movement even more, which is so interesting. Let me know down below your opinions on that. A big difference from what we saw in MW2 last year, just bringing back a lot of that movement. We did have bunny hopping a little bit in MW2's beta last year. They did remove it, so I wonder if it's gonna be bunny hopping like there in the beta, or like it was before in previous Call of Duties where it was pretty massive, like MW19. It was pretty crazy. I don't know, we'll see very soon. Now this here is pretty unfortunate. Modern Warfare 3 will still have the same seasonal prestige system as MW2 prestiges. They said they looked into things but have not changed it, not traditional prestige. So interesting. As Charlie Intel also says, Sledgehammer Games dev seems disappointed when they said the prestige system is stuck as the same seasonal prestige system. Seems like they are aware of the feedback on wanting the old back, but didn't change in time for this year. So again, no confirmation, but it seems like Sledgehammer Games did want to bring back original prestiging and how it worked in all previous Call of Duties, but you know, either they didn't have time to do so, or more than likely Activision or even potentially IW was kind of holding them back from doing that, and they wanted the seasonal prestiges to continue the way it has been, which is pretty unfortunate overall. A lot of people are stuck at level 55 right now. It's kind of annoying to have to wait every season to level up. It's, you know, it doesn't really make a lot of sense there, but it is what it is, I guess. Hopefully we'll get it back in the future. Maybe for Treyarch's next Call of Duty. We'll see very soon. Sledgehammer Games dev also said they wanted weapon prestiges to return, but weren't able to get it in MW3. You know, not as big of a deal in my opinion, but still another classic COD feature. Would have been cool to have in the game. Modern Warfare 3's launch had historically low crash rates for a Call of Duty game at launch. Sledgehammer devs say they're still working through server issues, including packet bursts, and will keep optimizing them. So I personally crashed a couple times in Zombies, honestly, and I've had a lot of packet bursts overall. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I believe that they've had historically low crash rates, but for me, I'm crashing as much, maybe a little more than what I did last year, but you know, not too bad. Hopefully that all is fixed very soon. Sledgehammer Games on a quick fix here. We do have changes and ads on gear and boots coming in seasons. We don't hate quick fix. At the time, this is the balance we're going for. We are seeing feedback. If there's no strong, horrible negatives to it, there's no reason to not do it. So again, a lot of this should be done in the experimental playlist. A lot of these changes here, even the movement changes as well, you should run that through the experimental playlist, see how people feel, and then bring it to the next update. I feel like that's a great way to get feedback, because feedback on Twitter is good, or in your YouTube comment section, but the best feedback is playing it for yourself and seeing how it exactly affects the gameplay. Hopefully we get that added very soon. Weapon tuning changes are coming soon for MW3's MP. They have heard feedback on some SMGs being underpowered, at least for competitive Call of Duty. ARs are so dominant, SMGs are just not as good, so we should get a massive, you know, bouncing update for weapons with Season 1's launch. Another unfortunate update here, Sledgehammer devs said they had discussion about giving a bonus camo for finishing both MW2 and MW3 weapon mastery camos, but it created certain issues. They might look at it in the future again. So I mean, we were talking about this in a previous video. If you completed all of the MW2 challenges, you got Orion, and all of the MW3 challenges, you got Interstellar, and then maybe all of the zombie challenges as well. If you got every single mastery camo in this game, if there was one, you know, super mastery camo to get for getting all of those other camos, that would be an insanely sick grind to go for. And they talked about it, they thought about it, they couldn't do it, and they might do it in the future. So hopefully they get it done eventually. That would be fire. Let me know down below. I mean, not many people would actually go for that there, because it's a lot of grinding to do. But, you know, maybe at some point, towards the end of the game's life cycle, or if you're just an absolute grinder, you want to get that top mastery, that super mastery camo. It would be cool if that was available for people to get. So we'll see if they end up adding it at some point in the near future. Sledgehammer devs say that they have a list of updates they want to make to MW3's firing range, but no concrete plans to make changes yet. The firing range has a glitch where it's 100 health instead of 150. Will be fixed very soon. So I'm wondering, what other changes do they want to make to the firing range? That'd be interesting. Visible damage numbers would be cool, but I wonder what else they're thinking. Let me know down below what other changes we could see to the firing range. Sledgehammer says the experimental playlist is just to test out ideas and see different things, but not guaranteed those things will make it into all playlists. They may test out health regen and other things in playlist too. So again, that's the point of the experimental playlist, not to be an early preview of a new update, but just to test out different ideas that people may have, that they may have, doesn't mean it has to be added to the game. It's just to experiment and test it out, which I think is really cool. Devs also say they're working to allow players to bind, dive, and slide to different buttons. That's interesting. And Sledgehammer devs on aim assist in MW3, it is at an okay place right now, they say. Want to look closer at it, talking about options on aim assist, but they come with downside. Maybe remove options for aim assist so there's only one to tune, trying to figure out the best solution. So that's a whole other debate. Let me know down below your opinions on that. But overall here, a lot of massive changes coming soon, a lot of changes that we could have seen and we could still see for this game. What are you guys most excited for in terms of gameplay, movement features? Do you still want to see normal prestigious return at some point? Maybe they'll make it happen. We'll see very soon. But overall, that's it for this video. Be sure to subscribe for more COD update videos like this. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.